Hello there. How you doing? It's Auntie Teresa here. Or some like to say TT Teresa. Or Tia Teresa, whatever name works. I'm excited to bring you a story today because it's been a while. I tried to record one a couple weeks ago and my phone had too many photos and videos, so I didn't have enough space, and I'm sorry. But today, if you have your Jesus Storybook Bible with you, you can follow along. The last time we read a story, it was about the forgiving prince. Y'all remember Joseph? He had dreams, and he had a nice rainbow robe, a coat that his dad gave him. Remember this guy? Yeah. Well, if you don't remember, you can go back to that story. But he learned how to forgive, and his brothers learned what it's like to be forgiven, which teaches us about God because he forgives all of us. So today's story is called God to the Rescue. You ready? Okay. Oh, I wish you were right here. I would just scoop you up and hold you close, and we would follow along right here in my book. But since I'm far away, we can do it this way, okay? Okay. All right. God to the rescue. This is the story of Moses and the great escape from Egypt, from Exodus chapters 3 through 13 in the Bible. Okay. Turn the page. Joseph and his brothers grew old and died, but their children's children stayed on in Egypt, where they became a very large family. Later on, a new king began to rule, but this Pharaoh didn't remember Joseph, and he didn't like God's people. He made them into his slaves and beat them and made them work harder and harder. God's people cried out to God to rescue them, and God heard them. He remembered his promise to Abraham. He would look after his people. He would find a way to set them free. One day, Moses was looking after sheep when something caught his eye. A bush was behaving very oddly. It was flickering with flames, but its leaves weren't burning up. He took a closer look. "Moses!" boomed a big voice. Moses leapt back. The bush was talking to him. "I have heard my people's cries," God said. "I have seen their tears. So I have come down to rescue them. Go to Pharaoh and tell him to let my people go free." Moses was afraid, but God said, "I will be with you." Whew, you ever been afraid? I know I have. Look at that. Whew. Child. What would you do if that happened to you? Would you run away like these sheep did? I would. Okay. Turn the page. So Moses went to Pharaoh. "Pharaoh," Moses began. "God says," "God?" said Pharaoh. "Never heard of him." Moses kept going. "God says, let his people go free." "Why should I?" Pharaoh said. "Don't want to." "Won't." So he didn't. So God gave Pharaoh 10 warnings called plagues. Can you say plagues? Plagues. First, God turned the river Nile into blood. No one could drink the water, but still Pharaoh would not let them go. So God made frogs come hopping and leaping and jumping. In your bed, frogs. In your hair, frogs. In your soup, frogs. All over, everywhere, frogs. Make them go away, Pharaoh screamed. Then your people can go. So God took the frogs away. But Pharaoh changed his mind. You can't go, he said. Then God sent zillions of gnats. But still, Pharaoh said, no. Then God sent swarms of flies. Flies buzzing in your eyes, flies. After that, sickness and horrible boils and huge hailstones and a storm of locusts. Then darkness when it should have been day. Until it seemed that the whole world, creation and everything was coming undone, falling back into darkness and nothingness and emptiness. But each time Pharaoh said, make it stop and then I'll let them go. And each time when God made it stop, Pharaoh changed his mind and said, actually, no, you can't go. He messing with the wrong one. I'm going to tell you. Look at that. What would you do if there were frogs in your hair? I certainly wouldn't be sleeping. Look at this guy. A lizard got in my house the other day. I haven't slept well since, so I know I would not be doing okay with all this. Turn the page. Finally, Moses warned Pharaoh, obey God, or he will have to send the worst thing of all. Pharaoh just laughed. So God said, the oldest boy in each family of Egypt must die, but my people will be safe. God told his people to take their best lamb, to kill it, and to put some of its blood on their front doors. When God passes over your house, Moses explained, God will see the blood and know that the lamb died instead of you. That night, it was just as God had said. Suddenly, piercing through the darkness, echoing down the corridors of the palace, came a blood-curdling scream. Pharaoh's oldest son had died. At last, Pharaoh did what God said. Get out! Pharaoh shouted. Just go! He wasn't taking God seriously. That did not have to happen that way. Turn the page. And so, that very night, Moses and God's people fled out of Egypt and out of slavery. They were free at last. God's people would always remember this great rescue and call it Passover. But an even greater rescue was coming. Many years later, God was going to do it again. He was going to come down once more to rescue his people. But this time, God was going to set them free forever and ever. Woo! That's the end of that one. You see the people? Wow. Okay. Tell me what you think. You can send me a video. Remember, this is a true story. This actually happened in Egypt a long time ago. way before you were born, way before I was born. But tell me what you think about it. You can send me a video or a text message, or you can call me, you can FaceTime me, and be sure to give the video a like, and you can share it with your friends too if you want. Okay, love you. Mwah. Bye.